Hi everyone. All right, so I wanted to hop on and share about different topics. So there's kind of like going to be a series, and the first one I want to start with is nutrition because I want to unpack and make sure that you guys have all the resources set up to be successful. And nutrition is huge when it comes to your results. If your nutrition is not in check, you're just not going to get the results you want, whether you're looking to lose or you're looking to maybe maintain or you're looking to build muscle. Like you really need to make sure that you're getting in the nutrition that you need for your body. And, a lot of that, there's misconceptions like for weight loss that you just slash calories, which you do need to, of course, bring in less calories than you're burning if you're losing weight, but you need to make sure you're fueling with the right stuff, because maybe you're not eating enough. Actually, sometimes people run into that they're actually putting their body into starvation mode and they're not burning the calories that they need. So I'm going to go over some different things that are available to you, and I'm going to start screen sharing so I can show you where some of those are located. Now, let's see. First things first, I'm going to kind of go through the group really quickly about where I've put some of the resources. Just give me 1 second to screen share. Okay, so let's hop over to the Facebook group. So if you're not in Facebook a lot or you're not doing a lot of groups, you may not realize that Facebook added a new feature, and the feature is units. Now, this is desktop view, so it's going to look a little bit different than on your phone, but on your phone, let me go to mine really fast. Typically, when you open up your Facebook, or at least I do when I go to groups, it's going to automatically default to the units. You may not want that. Maybe you want to come in and you want to post something, so then you're going to switch over to like the discussion. So like I said, give me 1 second to hop over to the group. Okay, so for whatever reason this time it did come up as discussions, and you'll see like in the group at the top there's like a bar at the top of the group, and it'll have like about, discussion, units, photos, events, files, and albums. So a few things you want to notice is discussion. So in the Facebook group, if you want to just post something, like if you want to post about your workout, I really, really encourage you to post as much as you're comfortable posting. Maybe you're struggling and you want to post about that and you need some like insight, like how do I get past this hurdle? Post it in the group. So that's the discussion. Units is going to be how I organize the group. So sometimes I'll do it ahead of time before the posts are actually posted. Sometimes I'll do it afterwards. It just kind of depends on how on top of my game I am. So there's prep week. There'll be week 1, week 2, and week 3. And then I also have separate sections for personal development because, guys, we're going to do a separate video. We're going to talk about that personal development. Menu and resources. So there are some there. I'm going to upload more in Shakeology. I did do a separate folder for Shakeology, even though it's nutrition, because it's kind of its own subject. So we're also going to talk about that as well. Let's see, other thing, files. On the desktop view, it doesn't show that. I'm not sure why, but files would be things such as like the guidelines sometimes are put in there, but I also put them like in the units. So they're right here. So group guidelines are in the prep week because it's anything that would seem like you need it to get started is going to be in the prep week. Now, the way it is set up is that it's set up kind of like a course, and you can click on the post. Some of them will be optional. Like I can make this optional. Like maybe I don't want you to have to click on all the quote posts, but I do want you, like this one actually is not just a quote. I'm going to make it required because it's to introduce yourself. Now, the goal is by the end of these 30 days is that when you go into the group, it has, sorry for clicking through. Here it is. It actually shows it in the units. It'll show you like 0 to 3 units completed. Now that may change as the group grows and we have to add a unit or something. So the goal is you'd have 100% completed. And you can see usually when you go into the group or into the actual unit, it'll show you like 0 of 5 poster completed. So the goal is for you to go in there, comment, and then you would click I'm done. And that will progress you through the units. Okay, so to the nutrition piece, that's kind of just a quick run through of the group, but nutrition, you have tons of resources, guys, but with nutrition, of course, ideally, I would like you to totally revamp and 0 to 60, so to speak. The reality is that may not be something that you can do and maintain. And I look back at my own nutrition, and it really has been a progression. Of course, I'd like it seems like, oh yeah, I just had to switch. I really didn't. There was little things that I cut out over time, and that got me to where I am today. So take baby steps. Really follow the guidelines, and then you can revamp from there. So let's jump over there. Everyone should at this point have picked out a workout program. I'm currently doing Lift 4. It launched a few months ago, so I'm finishing up around 2 with some people, and so that is kind of the guidelines I'm following. With every workout, when you log in, typically I'll show you the workouts first. Click on Program Materials. You have your workout calendar, tracker for weights, and nutrition guide. There's almost always a vegan version in addition to a regular. So pick the one that aligns for you. Scroll through and read this. This is going to tell you everything to kind of get you set up for the program. Now, Lift 4 is pretty simple as far as calculating. It's a little bit different than 21 Day Fix, where it's going to have you calculate in for your workout. This kind of is already built in. So now there's also tweaks depending on yourself. So you have to know yourself and what you might be going through. So, I'm technically under 168 pounds. However, I'm breastfeeding. So typically with breastfeeding, they say add 500 calories, or if you're pregnant, I definitely have to be plan B, even into plan C sometimes. So I kind of float in between these two right now to make sure I'm bringing enough calories so I'm able to maintain / build muscle, because right now that's my goals, is maintain / build muscle. So it's going to tell you how many of each containers. Now I use this as a guideline for making sure I'm getting in enough of each food group. Now, I am in a maintain stage, and I also like to follow the 2B Mindset principles. If you don't know 2B Mindset is a mindset nutrition program. Let me go to that really fast. Let's see if I can get over to it. And if you're struggling, if the containers for whatever reason don't work for you, everybody is different. They are very effective. I strongly support them, but I also know that, the containers are great for prepping. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, is when you are setting yourself up for the week, you use those to portion out your snacks, to maybe portion out your lunches. If you prep your lunches ahead of time, use them for that purpose. Now, of course, when you're going to eat dinner, you're not going to be able to easily measure out your oils and stuff. So it's not necessarily an exact science either. So, what you may notice is you are getting in all of your containers, but you're not losing weight. And if after a few weeks you're not losing weight, talk to me, because you might need to tweak something. But also look at your containers, because maybe you are eating enough reds and enough greens, but you could tweak what you're putting into those containers. Especially your yellows, you can tweak with, and can make a huge difference. Same with your protein. Maybe beef isn't working for you and you need to do chicken and turkey. So those are things to consider. Or maybe you're eating turkey bacon and you don't need to eat turkey bacon. So like I said, we're going to try to stay away from the whole concept of being perfect with them, but figuring out what works for you. And with that, I would recommend tracking. Now that's where the 2B Mindset principles come in. That's one of the principles of the program. And of course, I'm not going to show you all the details. You have to have access to and you need to watch these videos to really understand fully what she's teaching you. But Ilana is a registered dietitian. who lost 100 pounds following these principles herself. She was overweight as a child, and worked these into her own private practice. And she now, of course, works one-on-one with clients and has teamed up with Beachbody to create this program. So how 2B Mindset is it has videos. So she'll teach you the principles, the Learn to Be 2B Mindset are all the principles behind it. But one of the big principles that I'd like you guys to consider is tracking your food. I put in our group, let me go to, did I upload it? I did. Okay, I uploaded a food tracker for you guys. I'm also working on a new PDF, so keep your eye out. Hopefully I have it done this weekend as a resource for you guys, but this is a food tracker. Print it out. Track your food. And if you hate the scale, I want you to look at the scale as a tool. I heard on the podcast, a podcast I was listening to this week was phenomenal. She said, you are not fat. You have fat. You are not fat. So don't identify if that is something that you're self-conscious about or you're not comfortable with. Remember that you are not fat. You are not identified by your size. You are not skinny. You are not whatever that you're concerned about. Your weight is something you have. So, like for me, I have 100 and whatever pounds, but that doesn't mean I am that person. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But, so use the scale as a tool. Now, I'd recommend once a week, and because the scale can be a reminder to watch what you eat, or to monitor your progress. And don't be stressed if it stays the same for a couple weeks. It may. But the tracker, write your weight, total weight loss from day one. So hopefully you've taken your weight already, and then the total weight of what loss. So say in a week you weigh yourself and you're down 2 pounds, you drag 2 pounds. And know your weight's going to go up and down. Mine fluctuates. Right now it's fluctuating about 5 to 7 pounds actually. I think because I'm trying to figure out the right containers so I can build. Because I am shredding with the program that I'm working on, but I really want to maintain a certain weight and build muscle. Hours slept, because your sleep is going to affect your weight loss. Water, same thing. You need to be bringing in half your body weight of water a day. And if that's something that's nutrition-wise that you can focus on, just focus on that for right now. Your goal, and then what you actually drank. Your meals, what time you ate, because something you may notice is that you can eat all the yellows recommended on your program, but you need to eat them earlier in the day and not later in the day. So that might be something that you need to consider. You don't have to eat 2 snacks. They're listed there. It depends on your needs. Typically 1 snack in the afternoon is enough. Not even for some people is it necessary. I'm not going to go over the other details because I want to stick to focus of nutrition. Now they have the Beachbody blog. If you need recipe ideas, there are tons of recipes on here, guys. Tons. In addition, they also have fitness tips and stuff, but recipes, you can click on recipes, and they have 2B Mindset ones, which work too. If you're on the container system, you just want to be conscious of what you're working in there, vegetables, fruit, whatever. They also break them down into sections sometimes, like desserts. Maybe you're going to a party and you're in charge of dessert, and I do this a lot, is I hop on here and see if there's maybe a healthier alternative. Snack recipes, lunch recipes, breakfast lunch. There's tons of recipes. So there's no lack of healthy recipes to choose from. And what I like is they often chicken recipes. They have one that I've shared in groups before. See if it pops up right away. I gotta see it. Well, they have the chicken parmesan or the healthier chicken cordon bleu. So you can have those savory, the chicken pot pie I've made before. You can have those savory desserts or recipes that you really enjoy, but little tweaks can make a difference in your weight loss. The stuffed peppers, same thing, little tweaks are going to make a difference to you. And if you're struggling, let's set up a one-on-one call and we'll talk about nutrition for you specifically. I also emailed out menus. Here is one that I emailed you. Now, this is not, where'd it go? It is not for all containers. So you can't just take a menu and be oh, well, Jamie shared it. So it's going to align with my mini plan. If you are on plan C, it's going to be different than someone that's on plan A. So you need to take that in consideration. Same thing if you're a vegan versus you follow a traditional plan. So scroll through, pick and choose, and use the recipes that work for you. Trying to think. Fixate is another resource to you as well. Let me see if I can go up. I don't do the digital Fixate a lot. I use the Fixate cookbook. Okay, so here's Fixate. There are videos, so you can watch videos. They're really like cooking shows that you can watch and get some recipe ideas. Take a minute to load. And then there's also recipes that align with it. So sometimes even on the blog, it'll bring you back to Fixate. But I love the Fixate cookbook. I don't use a lot of cookbook these days. See, Fixate even talks about the containers. I might share that video in the group. You know, she'll share things about meal prep, like how to help you. So if you're struggling, like I'm always a resource, but I do encourage you to use resources that are given to you in the blog. Like there's just tons, and you can, sometimes it helps hearing from another person as well. So I also use Pinterest. I have a couple boards on there. You can follow me. I really need to almost like delete my Pinterest and start over, because you can see my transformation just in my Pinterest, what it used to be and my newer boards now. So, but I like to go on there. I follow a lot of Whole30 and paleo only, because there's a lot of veggie focused meals. Because that's, you know, if you look at any of the meal plans, they tend to be plant-based, and then you add in the other containers. I also do a lot of vegan ones because I'm breastfeeding, so I can't have dairy or eggs right now. So I take a vegan recipe and then throw protein in it, typically for my family. And also, if you've watched my social media, I have one of my daughters is borderline vegetarian right now, which is totally okay. But it does make dinner a little bit more challenging since we do eat meat in my house. So we've been playing around with, and she's picky about vegetables. So trying to figure out like how to get that protein in her. So always a challenge, but okay, I think that's all the resources I wanted to share with you. You know, follow the guideline that's in your program, access the recipes on the Beachbody blog. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Hold on. If I can. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Okay, so like I said, quick run through. Follow the plan that comes with your workout calendar that you're following, because the calorie burn is going to be different depending on your workout. So you want to make sure that you're, like I said, bringing in enough calories, or maybe not too much, to also target your goals. Now, your goals are going to affect that too. So make sure when you read over the nutrition guide, you take in consideration if you're maintenance, weight loss, or muscle building mode, because then it's going to affect your containers more than just your weight. If you have any questions, reach out to me, comment below if there's something specific to nutrition that you're struggling with. So, all right, I hope you guys have a great day and found this useful.